Hello, everybody. And today we are going to give a closing report in raw live format and have a bit of discussion how this project went and the experience we all had together. So let's start with sharing the report. We submitted a mini proposal workshop under Fund 9 challenge and scouted for students. The challenge questions was, how can we provide student entrepreneurs with a place to appeal their ideas to the world and the opportunity to connect with engineers? Our approach was to implement workshops that help participants ideate on proposals and effectively communicate the proposal objectives to the voters. We requested $5,000 to create a workshop format, educational material, and run public workshops. First, we started creating the workshop format. Once we had the format, we tested it and created a standalone introduction videos for each workshop chapter. After that, the educational material, after we have created the educational material, we introduced the concept in Catalyst community and started coordinating to go through chapters with one idea in mind. It was quite difficult to find contributors this time around, so we tried many different experiments where and how to onboard members into workshops itself. And in my opinion, we found a practical approach by coordinating events with different existing events like town halls or Kimba Labs playground, which changed our strategy because the fund then was delayed, and this changed our KPIs where we were tracking. What we did track was the participation feedback and video results. It appears that it was more challenging for participants to participate in our earlier sessions, but over time and overall, the participants felt quite optimistic about the workshops and the lessons they learned from them. Our best video was overview video with over 200 views, but for the rest of the template, it averages around 20 views. It gave us quite a nice insight what topics are people most of the time interested. So like problem ideation was something that was looked more than like how to rename stakeholders or taxonomy. I was amazed that hour-long workshop videos actually got more impressions and reviews compared to the templates themselves. So it seemed like there is a demand to see how people are doing stuff, not just not explaining how to do it. The main achievements I will point out is that actually to complete workshops, that we actually completed the workshops with community covering all the necessary topics. And now I would go into showing slightly what we did. I will showing the mini proposal project management board here, where our team is coordinating, adding tasks and activities and plans. And on the left side, you can see this content section. This is the entire content we created all this time. And there will be a retrospective, this video we are doing right now, also included into this. On the top, you will find all of these new chapters and presentations and introduction to each of the chapter. Then also a test run around like mini proposal workshop templates themselves. Then we do some alignment and introduction sessions to kind of introduce what we have we'll be doing. And then a lot of videos about the content. At the start, it was quite long videos, like 2 or 3 hours even. But the video editing has been kind of made it so it's more compact and easier to watch and chapterized, so we can switch between content. And another Miro board we worked on is the content itself when we started running the workshop, where we started with like a huge idea, we brainstormed, we scoped it down, and we looked into all of these chapters and kind of captured some ideas and ideated basically on all of the aspects around the proposal itself. And finally, the most important, in my opinion, or well, the starting point would be the workshop template. You can see 42 people have copied that. And so I hope all of those who have liked it or copied them has found some use for this. What did you learn through this experience, and what did you like about this project?
I liked about the project that in the end, it felt like the shorter sessions are more essential, because they are not only are they easier to edit for me, but I feel like they're also better for the participants and viewers to digest.
In my opinion, Teuvo, we should disregard these cool down period workshops, go back as in Fund 8 and beginning of the Fund 9, and use those metrics, because the cool down period was an outlier in the curve. It brings the average completely down. So this proposal that we have, I think for metrics, as you said, KPIs changed and everything, but for metrics of planning the future, as it's an outlier, I don't think it should be considered.
Because the venue, right, the venue for the workshop, the sessions were done in different communities, LATAM and Catalyst and Swarm, SingularityNet, all the usual stuff. You got different participants kind of joining in, and there was probably a good 45 minutes where they had to sort of catch up and orient themselves and figure out what the context is, because it was deep, material and deep information. So it took, because it was a new venue each time, it took them a while, I feel like, to really catch on. And then that was when contribution value started coming from the conversation. So in our case, I think it might have been better if we had more consistent of the actual participants, but that's a challenge on its own. And if this was a smaller scoped proposal, it might have worked flawlessly, something you can catch on really quickly, and then people are actually contributing their value quickly. That could be the case. It was just this one was challenging, I think.
There's two main value propositions that I saw evidently in the mini proposal workshops. One, you guys definitely help with the proposal process. For somebody who's new, doesn't know what the proposal process is or even how to start writing it, that's definitely the advantage that they gain from going through the MPW workshops. And it's vastly valuable, especially to somebody who's new to Catalyst. And then the second major value proposition I saw is that your network of people that you can connect the right, community participants with the right interesting topics or projects. However, those two, in a way, contradict each other. Either you're reaching out for community participation, and then there's less progress, I guess you could say, on the 10 stages of the proposal making process. Basically, when it's your team and the proposer, you guys can hammer through those 10 steps pretty quickly. Or alternatively, involve the community and get larger amounts of feedback. But that does slow down, right, that progress. So finding the balance between leveraging your two value propositions, I think went very well, and I can't wait to see the next iteration looks like and see how that progresses. But those, I just wanted to point out, those are the two main values I saw in this process, and how can we amplify or focus on those two particular deliverables.
Yeah, well, that would be the closing report. Thanks for watching, and see you out in the community.